Hi, this is James Eng with Old Capital, and today we're here with Joey Murray of Marcus and Millichap. Joey, thanks for jumping on the call with us. Maybe to kick it off, give us a little bit of your background, and then we'll jump into this new deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me, James. It's nice to be here. So, a little bit about myself. I've got about little over 10 years of real estate experience. Seven of that was in corporate real estate, and I've now been with Nick Fluellen and Bart Hoover for almost 3 years now. I'm part of the 75 unit and under multifamily team under Marcus and Millichap and the Fluellen Hoover. And myself and Matt Aslan kind of split up the territory. But what makes us a little unique as a 75 and under team is not only do we have a database of buyers and sellers that specialize in only that market, but we help first time buyers as well as seasoned sellers that own that size range to not only get out of their deals but also to scale up. And as a team, there's 9 of us. So we're able to take a 1031 seller and help them transition from anywhere from 5 units all the way up to several hundred within our own team. So whenever you have a deal that's trading out, you actually have about 9 brokers that would help you find an upleg.
Great.
So that's kind of what makes us a little different.
All right. Well, let's jump into this deal that you guys just listed last week called Meadows, 33 unit deal in Lewisville. And I think this is a pretty rare property in terms of size and location. So I'll let you jump into it and just start going through it.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the Meadows condominiums. It is not an individually deeded condo. This is a very unique property that's very well located in the city of Lewisville. For those of you that don't know, Lewisville has a population of about 104,000. Median age is around 32, which is a pretty young medium age, and has a median income of around 59,000. This deal specifically is located near the corner of Valley View and 121. It's only about 10 minutes north of DFW and about 15 minutes south of Denton. It's also only 1 mile from I-35. So this is a very well located corridor in the middle of DFW. This is in the Lewisville ISD, which is one of the top 15 ranked ISDs school districts in Dallas. Specifically, as you'll see here, it's within walking distance of Creekside Elementary and as well as Durham Middle School. So anyone who lives in this community can not only walk their kid to elementary school, but all the way to middle school, which is a really nice perk. Easy access to not only DFW, but also Love Field is only about 20 minutes away as well. A little bit specifically about this property. It's 33 units. One of the units is an efficiency, which has been converted leasing office. It was built in 1985 and does have pitched roofs. The roofs were replaced recently in 2018, and it features individual water heaters, HVACs as well. Substantial capital improvements have been put into this deal. Current owner has replaced not only the roofs, but also the windows and the electrical panels. Interior upgrades have been done on all of the units, but 11 of them have been done to a higher level, which would feature granite countertops, painted cabinets, and stainless steel appliances. Some of the units will have backsplashes and some of them will not.
Yeah, so I pulled up this slide just because I think some of the details on this deal are pretty unique, and for a 1980s deal, it has sort of everything that you would want. So maybe walk through some of these things in terms of garages, and then how, for 33 units, people are going to ask questions around how do you manage a property like this, and maybe talk to how it's being currently managed, and what other items are unique about this deal.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, you'll kind of see the pitched roof here, but one of the things that's on this page is the pet deposit and pet rent. They are currently charging a pet deposit, but not currently pet rent. So that could be an upside here, because I know that a lot of these units have pets and also has an amenity of a dog park. So that's one thing to keep note. But what really sets this deal apart is the attached garages. Even the second floor units have an attached garage with a spiral staircase. Some people kind of been thinking, how does that work? But it's not a townhome, but it's not a flat. It's actually both. The garages do attach to it, and no other properties around the area feature that.
Okay, so you got 32 garage spaces for all the ones and twos, except for the efficiency. And then the twos have washer and dryer connections already in
all
place?
of them actually have washer and dryer connections.
Okay.
And we'll kind of talk about that on the next slide, but that's definitely an upside. It's currently being managed professionally, but not on site. It is an offsite managed system, and the management company would discuss trailing with a new buyer as well. Okay. There's one maintenance person that floats between units, and as well as one leasing person who is kind of on demand.
Okay. All right. So, we talked a lot about what the seller has done. What is some of the upside for a new buyer coming into this deal now?
Yeah, there's a lot of upside. A lot of people look at how clean this deal is and see a lot of the heavy lifting has been done, but there's still a substantial amount of value that can be added. Not only with the continuing to renovate the interior parts of the unit, you'll see pictures of the classic versus the upgrade on the page here. Obviously, just the backsplashes and painting the cabinets. That unit has stainless steel appliances, but not all of them do. Coming in and doing that on the rest of the over 20 units is the easiest way to push your rents. But also, given that they have full-size washer and dryer connections, most of these units still don't have their own washer and dryers. So a new owner could step in and lease them out themselves for around probably about $35 a month. And there's also companies out there that you could set to do your leasing for you, but you just wouldn't make as much money from a rental standpoint. A couple other things. One thing that's not on this page is that even though all these deals have garages, there's still a substantial amount of people that would more than likely pay for a reserved parking spot. So that's another thing that can be done here. Probably 20 to 30 spaces across the community are well located to be able to do a reserved parking space. And you could probably get somewhere around $25 to $35 a month for that. The tenants are already set up to have stickers on the back of their cars, so it would really just be implementing it.
Okay. Then what about this vacant land that we see here in this picture?
Absolutely. So the vacant land is all on the same parcel currently. The entire property is 4 acres, but the land on the east side of the property is approximately 3/4 of an acre. There is all sorts of things that you could do with this deal. But we feel like this multifamily, the deal is going to transact on the merits of the multifamily, and this vacant land you'll essentially be getting for free. And you could do an amenity on that thing, on that land, which is probably, the least advantageous way to do it. But you could also own anywhere from 10 to 20 units additional on the property for an additional revenue income stream. self-storage could be put out there for a little bit cheaper construction cost. I've also heard some ideas of being able to go in and do a ground lease. Or worst comes to worst, after you buy the deal, you parcel it off and sell the land off separately.
Right. Okay. All right. Perfect. So let's talk about the rents, where this property is currently, and then where the competitors are in the submarket.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as you'll see on the page, the Meadows is still relatively low on their rents. Just being able to push up the rents on the ones that are currently there, also with the renovation program. But what's kind of not captured here is, again, goes back to the garages. It's really unique in the market. Most of these deals that are on the page do not have attached garages. So I would really imagine that you could get really close to the highest one that you have here on Somerset, being able to push those rents up.
Okay, great. So, once you implement the business plan on this deal, just in that first year, talk about the change in sort of your income and expenses.
Yeah. So we really try to capture here what the increase in rental income would look like. As you can see on the current left side of the screen, the current actual 2019 total rental income, and then we pushed it up roughly 10% for the pro forma year one to try to capture not only the lower rents that are currently there, but also renovating the units. Another thing that you'll see here that has fed into that pro forma number is the loss to lease. They currently have $37,000 of loss to lease, which is low-hanging fruit there because they have not gotten all the tenants up to the same rental income.
Okay, great. So we looked at the deal from the deal is stabilized, well occupied right now, and so we looked at it from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac perspective. Depending on what prepayment penalty you chose, if you went with yield maintenance, you're probably getting about 150,000 more in loan proceeds. If you went with declining prepay, you'd be at about 2.5 million, and anywhere from 1 to 3 years interest only. So we sized the deal on a T3 for net rental. Other income, we did T3 as they just recently implemented a ROPES program. Management fee at 7%, G&A, advertising professional at $300 a unit, payroll for that sort of partial maintenance and leasing, we had $1,000 a unit, utilities, water and sewer T12, R&M at $600, insurance we kept at $400 a unit, and then the taxes we brought up to about 90% of the purchase price. And so you come out with about a $2.6 million loan on this deal. And Joe, I forgot to ask, is there a whisper price on this deal right now?
We feel with a lot of the upside that's in place and the location that this deal will trade somewhere around 3.6 million.
Okay.
It is hard to judge on the front end. It could be plus, could be minus. But yeah, that's where we think it will trade.
Okay. And then do you guys have a call for offers date yet? Or are you taking offers as they come? What should people be doing in terms of getting offers to you?
Yeah, we're going to have a call for offers. We haven't set the date yet. We're about a week and a half into the marketing process. We will probably set a call for offers date probably towards the end of next week, which we'll e-blast out for everyone to see. But yeah, in the meantime, we're taking tours. Everybody that's underwritten the deal and is interested in the deal, let's get you up, go take a look at it.
All right. Any last parting words on this deal? Like what should people hit me with, like maybe 3 things that people should remember about this deal?
Yeah. I think that aside from everybody's comments on the awesome blue garages, I think that it's really all about the attached garages and the unlimited opportunity with the land. Not only that, but you have a really strong Class B stabilized asset that you would have to have very little capital expenditure budget on. come in and just cash flow the deal.
Great. Thanks a lot, Joey, for jumping on the call, telling us about this deal.
No, thank you very much for the opportunity.